Murph, you're the only festive one tonight.
I thought you said we're red.
I know. I just forgot.
No, I actually
Gonna come up with a reason. Yeah.
All right, we're live on Instagram.
Yo,
and everything else.
Instagram. We got Bob. We got Amethyst Moon. We got Katie Kate Keeks. Oh, I like that name.
Say that 5 times fast.
Boom. Katie Kate Keeks. Kitty Kate Keeks. Kitty Kate.
Kick it.
Stop to get a drink.
Kick.
Bob, how are you?
Guys?
Oh, it's good. It's good. How are you?
Good. You guys have been busy, huh? Can you believe it's February? Does it feel like the year just started, or like it should be later in the year for you, or right where it's at?
I think it should still be January. I can't believe it's like almost mid-February already.
Crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Rob doesn't even know where he's at right now.
I know, he's like,
I
I'm
seriously
in a different planet.
Like
Welcome
the
to
amount
the
of
waiting
times
table.
the amount of times I've looked at my calendar to find out what day it is today has been absolutely nuts. So yes.
Well, good thing. I mean, has it been hard looking at a different guy on your
Yeah.
calendar? Is that kind of what's making it hard for you, or what?
It's the hardest part. I don't even like it. I threw my calendars away after January. I was just like, who's Dave? Business bully. Get out of here.
You know what Dylan said? He goes, I'll just cut this part off so we can still see February, but it's just Rob up until Murph's calendar. That was Dylan's idea.
Yeah, sorry
That's
guys.
why I love Dylan.
You gotta wait 7 months.
Yeah. That's why I love Dylan. Smart guy. Bob said that there's an echo on Insta.
Yeah, see, I feel like it's...
I don't know what it would be from. I've got nothing here. This is the only audio.
It might be...
I can mute myself. Here, let me...
Is there now? Hello? Is that better? I don't hear it anymore.
Me neither. Bob, you let us know, buddy.
Yeah. Maybe. So Murph, you're going to have to unmute when you're talking though, or else me and Rob can't hear you on StreamYard.
Bob says better.
Okay, good.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
Great.
AJ Big Boy, how are you? Amanda Marie, how are you? Thanks for joining us, guys. So many people on Instagram jumping on. Let's get started with some NSVs.
Yeah, start posting them. NSVs, those that are new, welcome. Okay, good. Bob said it's better. NSVs are non-scale victories, and it doesn't matter if you've had weight loss surgery or not. It's just basically wins for the week, something that you're proud of, that you're excited about. You can just start sharing those. So put them in. Bob's like he's our moderator. Moderators are more popular on TikTok, but Bob's got our back here on Instagram.
Yeah. You guys get us started. Bob, you also get us started since you are the weld oil machine here.
Yeah. Do you guys have any NSVs that stand out for this week?
Yeah, I made Wednesday.
I totally heard you say, I heard you say I made twins. I'm like, okay, do you have news for us?
I made twins today.
I made twins. So I feel like I talk about this every week, so I don't want to talk about it again. But so we've finally done my bulk phase. I am on my cut phase, which has had me drop about 500 to 600 calories a day. So it's cool. It's different. I enjoy not eating as much, but then I'm also not doing as many shakes. I'm not doing dairy right now. I'm not allowed bars. So I'm actually eating way more real food than I was doing on my bulk cycle, which is again making it hard. So it's still good. Energy is pretty good.
Is it easier or harder than when you were eating a ton?
Easier in a sense that just total volume is smaller, right? Like I'm at 2250 calories now. It's harder that, I was doing all these different, not shortcuts, but different other supplements to help me get to that 3000 previously. Now I'm not allowed to do any of those things. So that's what makes it harder. I'm still full all the time though. I'm still eating a lot. Maybe not every hour and a half. I'm definitely eating every 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But no, I think it's pretty awesome. I'm in, I don't know, like day 3 or 4. I've actually lost quite a lot of water weight, which is expected in the first couple of weeks. But there's a couple people at the gym that were just like, this cutting phase has been really good for you. I'm like, I just sort of started. He says, are you nuts? Because they can already see it. I'm like, that's pretty awesome, man. Thank you. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, I'm excited. 16 weeks is gonna go by really quickly. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, we're getting some good NSVs on Instagram and TikTok. Please feel free to share yours too. But let's see. We had Sharky Chicky. We love your name, by the way, Sharky Chicky. That's just like
I
fun to
like
say.
it.
Some of these names that you guys come
I
up with are
know
so
Kitty
cool.
Keeks and Sharky
Chicky.
13. I like that.
She said Tuesday got to the gym at 4:30 a.m. Oh my goodness. I hope I hope you're in Pacific Standard Time, but you're talking Eastern Standard Time because that's early. Do you guys, if you or anybody else just like with movement, I like working out first thing in the morning, but not that early. Like when do you work out, Rob? Do you do that early?
Right after the kids go to school. So
Oh,
like
okay.
right after they go, I'll eat breakfast with them, and then after they're done, I'll drive to the gym or go to pickleball at the time. So usually around 8:50 and 8:30, I'll be there.
What
But
about
yeah,
you,
just
Murph?
getting it started is always the best, I find.
I'm not a morning person, nor am I a gym person. I get up and I go, and I just stay active for the majority of the day. I drop Elise off at about 6:30, and I get to work at 7, and then I'm just go go go, and yeah, just on my feet, getting my steps in, drinking my water. I'd like to go to the gym. Just haven't had a chance to really fit it into the schedule. I want to be consistent, and it just wouldn't be. It would be once a week, maybe twice a week, and it would be different days every week. And I just hate that. I want to be.
Yeah.
It's something I'm working on. It's my. I want to get into a routine. That was one of my New Year's resolutions. Is just get into a fitness or movement routine, and I'm not there yet, honestly.
Well, if you need a workout buddy, Sharky Chicky, 4:30 a.m. There you go, Murph. That just seems so early to me, but like good for you,
Yeah,
girl.
no. I usually go to bed around that time. So, yeah, no. But that's awesome. That's awesome. I love people that can get up and you see a lot of studies, a lot of successful people talk about getting up at
Yep.
that time and hitting the gym at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and it's good for you. That's awesome. That's maybe someday.
I love it. We got another one. The Journey to a Healthier Me says week
Yes.
4. Or here, why don't you read that one, Rob? That one's kind of applicable to you a bit more.
Yeah, fellow Canadian, fellow Ontarioan. Week 4, recovering from a skin removal surgery, arm lift, breast lift, and tummy tuck with Dr. Chivers. Feeling great and back to my walking, which is amazing. Week 4 is definitely a turning point. First couple of weeks, it's a bit tough, but week 4 is you start seeing sort of the light at the end of the tunnel. And Aaron, got to do this for me _NY says, those are the surgeries I'm going to have with Dr. Shivers too. And he's awesome.
And Rob's going to pay for all of it for her, I think.
Again, use
discount code
60. It gets bigger every time. TWT60 to get 60% off.
For Aaron, let's do TWT a hundo. So that way she gets it just free.
See what he says. Tell him.
Sorry, and I missed Kate Keeks. We were so excited about your name that I missed your she said that she just hit 2 weeks post-op, feeling better each day.
Awesome.
That's so exciting. Congrats.
That's awesome. Do you guys remember 2 weeks post-op?
Oh yeah, I remember it.
Wow.
because it was like when I could start, it was at 2 weeks that I was able to start with like softer foods.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I really wanted shredded chicken and refried beans. Like I was
Mm.
dreaming about having that for like after right after surgery. So I remember a scrambled egg the first day. I couldn't eat all of it at that point, but it was so good. And then I did my shredded chicken and refried beans and oh, so good.
As you're craving. You
Oh
know what
yeah.
mine was? It was Melba toast. So once we got to the point where we can have Melba toast, which was on soft food diet.
What's Melba toast?
You don't know? Do you know, Murph?
No, I have no idea. I've never heard of that.
It's a Canadian thing.
It's a Canadian thing. They're like crackers essentially, but they're like really like obviously they're crispy, and then after you have them, they break down really easily. But that was what I was craving because having been on liquid diet for so long, you just want something with texture.
Yes.
So once I was able to eat that, life felt infinitely easier. So that for me was the big turning point in regards to my overall diet. So
When me and Murph come visit you in Canada, will you have Melba toast waiting for us upon our
I will,
arrival?
guys. Melba toast for everyone. Anyone comes to Canada to hang out, Melba toast for everyone.
Wow.
Melba.
I have
Are you saying Melba?
Melba, MELBA.
I've never heard of it.
With cream cheese. Ooh, guys, come on, so good.
Let's see. We're getting some other ones. I saw one in TikTok. Do you want to read that one, Murph?
Which one? I'm sorry. I was reading the other.
Oh, that's okay.
On TikTok?
Marie.
Yeah, from Amanda Marie.
Got it. Not really. Oops. Not really a huge NSV, but I dropped 2 sizes since January. Yeah, that is a pretty big NSV. Good job. That's amazing.
That's what I was going to say. I'm like, not a big one. That's huge. I think that's
pretty
so
huge.
cool.
Awesome.
Give yourself some credit. That's
right. Because prior to surgery, when was the last time you can say I dropped 2 dress sizes, 2 pant sizes, 2 shirt sizes?
Since January. So we're talking 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Ish.
So that's pretty damn huge.
Or a week and a half if it's been since January. It's only a week. It's only the 7th. I had to look and see what day it was again.
I don't even know what month we're in, so it could still be in January in my head.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, but congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's easy to not celebrate. That's why it's always fun to do these NSVs when we talk about them, because I feel like we can just undersell ourselves a lot and just be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But like, I just like ran a marathon, or it's like doing these like cool things, or I just dropped 2 pant sizes, like whatever. And so that's something to be proud about. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Let's see.
Bob's been doing she said January 10th. Since January 10th. So you're talking.
Dang.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Math time.
That's
days. That's days. Woo!
That's just days. That's
You did it.
That's less than a month. 2 pants, 2 sizes in less than a month. That's impressive. Give yourself a big pat on the back.
Yeah, very good.
And some new pants.
So let me ask you guys this, and everyone tune in, and then we're gonna have to scroll to catch up because I feel like we're behind on some of the comments too. When you were losing the weight, how frequently did you purchase new clothes? Because it's tough because you buy new clothes because you're happy about obviously losing the weight, and I didn't want to keep looking like a flying squirrel, like with super baggy clothes that you just sort of float around. And
it's definitely a look, if that's definitely a look,
right? It's like I'm wearing my parents' clothes when I was a little kid type thing. But then you buy new clothes, great, and then all of a sudden they don't fit anymore. Like I've blown so much money when I was going through that weight loss journey, that initial weight loss journey. So how about you guys? Like how long did you wait between like buying clothes, or what was sort of your shopping protocol there?
I did a lot of thrifting. So like Goodwill was my best friend. I would do a lot of that. for me, buying clothes is what really helped me connect with what my body actually looked like. So
Yeah.
it was really helpful for me. Even if I didn't buy things, I just going in and trying things on was really
Yeah.
helpful. And so I would say probably every month or 2 months, I would buy a few things. Like I wouldn't go crazy and buy a lot, but just something to kind of have that connection with my mind of, oh, this is where my body's at right now. And it was weird because I actually just went and sorted through some clothes to donate. And I feel like this is my first round of donating clothes that I just don't want to wear anymore, not because they're too big. So that's been kind of cool. I guess that'll be my NSV. That was kind of a cool thing where it's like I'm not
Yeah.
just donating clothes that are too big for me now. It's just as my style changes and as I like new things, I donated stuff that I just don't want to wear anymore.
Yeah. How about you, Murph?
Yeah, I feel like I outgrew my clothes very quickly to the
Yeah.
point of like it was almost annoying. But I would typically take in a garbage bag full of 3X and donate it to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army or Volunteers of America, and then I'd walk out with like a bag of like 2X stuff, and then I just kind of kept doing that. I'd go and get a a couple pairs of pants, drop off a couple pairs of pants, pick up a couple pairs of pants, or whatever the case may be, whatever the need was. But yeah, it was often. I mean, it was like every 3 months or so, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like it was enough to be kind of annoying. Like, seriously, I got to go buy more clothes again. Like, these are falling off. I got to cut another notch into my belt, and that's when I discovered the elastic braided belt. And I still use it. I still have it. It was later in the game, but it was a bit of a game changer. The elastic stretchy braided belt. You just pick whatever feels good and you put it on. And I used it today.
You know what's crazy though? Like you said, like every 3 months, but then when I go back and I look at this whole, like obviously this journey has been almost 4 years or 4 years this year for me, but I feel like by 9 months I was sort of like at my weight, right? Like at 9 months I was sitting at around 180-ish or around there, right? But I feel like I changed and I went through clothes so quickly. Like they just dropped really, really fast. And I went through a phase where I was finally able to wear the clothes that I had saved. I was like, okay, I have all these clothes that I bought previously, like so many clothes with tags. It's like I'm going to finally fit in them. And I did for like a week and a half. And then I was just like, oh shit, okay, now it's the next one. Or like, okay, now it's something else. And yeah, I feel like I didn't go through as much.
Did you did you have any clothes that you saved that you tried on? You're like, ew, how did I even like this? Like,
Yeah.
where you just didn't like it anymore?
I had years of clothes, right? Because like, I gained the weight incrementally and slowly over the years, but then I had bought clothes and I'm just like, oh, well, these are really nice. It was a lot of work clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And so they all had tags and literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And they all ended up getting donated. So I once I lost the weight, I tried to post on like some Facebook groups about like, hey, I want to donate this to people who are losing weight, who have bariatric surgery, because so you don't have to go like this is stepping down clothes, right? So you don't have to go through the things that I did. But then I got blocked for trying to share that, and you're selling. I'm like, I'm not selling. I'm giving it away. So I got in trouble for that, and so I ended up just giving it to people. But I was very specific. I just didn't want to post it on like Facebook Marketplace, and then
Mm-hmm.
someone buy all this really expensive clothes and then just sell it, right? Like I wanted it specifically to be people going through the bariatric journey.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, tons, like 15 years, 10 years. I'm like, oh my God, no one wants to wear this anymore. And then now it's back in style.
Should have held on a little longer.
Yeah. Yep. Like, all my friends are just like, oh yes, you're wearing tight pants. I'm like, listen, I missed this stage of
era.
style. I'm not going back to my baggy skater pants anymore. I can't go back to that. That was where I was last time.
It's either tight pants or no pants. That's Rob's new rule.
Exactly. No pants.
All right, let's see. Let's catch up on Instagram. Let's see. Oh, Matt said he hit let's see. He hit Wonderland. Congrats, Matt. V9S6G23. Sounds like I'm talking about a robot, but I know your name is Matt.
Way to go. Way to go.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Bob said he's been going to the gym at 5 a.m. lately, but afternoons are rough. I feel you on that. It's hard for me to work out in the afternoon too. Let's see.
Aaron, I want to know what Dr. Shivers did say. Was that the discount code, or what did he say? TWT60, guys. 60% off all your skin removal needs.
Johnny, your brother, or that's your brother, right, Murph? Johnny,
your brother.
I think we're waiting on the test results to come back, but he's
okay.
My brother.
As far as we know right now, with the information we have.
Right now.
He says he does early morning workouts because the family's asleep, and he'll plug in heavy metal and just take it to town.
I believe it. Yeah, he's got a really good system going. He's been doing that for years, and super proud of him. He gets up, every morning, and he hits the gym, and and it shows. His hard work has definitely paid off.
Oh, we got lots of people in here today. We got Dee's here. We got Justin from Boston. We got Eric. Eric, I want to see. So if anyone doesn't know, Eric recently got skin removal surgery as well. Super athletic guy. Super proud of this guy. Following in the footsteps of Justin from Boston, getting super fit.
I feel like Eric had said that he's had like 4 different wardrobes since VSG. Yeah. It would be fun for you guys to do like a comparison of what your wardrobes have been over the years. Like just, I don't know, just anybody. I always think that's fun.
For many years, mine just consisted of like sweatpants and sweat shorts or basketball shorts and t-shirts and whatever size jacket or hoodie I could fit into, So it was always very sporty and stretchy and movable. And now it's like, I'm not ashamed of those tight pants. I like wearing the tight pants.
Yeah, man. Don't be ashamed.
No. But still thrifting,
You find good stuff, Murph, too. I always love the clothes that you find thrifting. Those are always my favorite that you wear.
We've got a couple really good thrift stores here, and I love shopping.
Yeah. What do you do? Oh, I thought that was Rob. I'm like, are you hacking into like computer systems or what? You're like going crazy there.
My dogs just came in from outside. They're
it sounded like keyboard.
It's their nails on the hardwoods.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I can't mute TikTok, so you're hearing everything here. I'm trying to mute this every time they're barking and coming in.
I actually thought I thought it was me for 1 second. I'm like, what the hell? What am I typing? Because I was typing something. Holy shit! I'm going at it. It's not me. Eric is also a speed demon. Dude can run his peachy butt off, according to D. He didn't say peachy butt, but he can run his butt off.
I like your creative liberties you took on that.
Right? Yeah. Oh shoot, D is the workout king. He arrived. There 5 workouts a day. This is true. I hated dressing up. Like Eric said, he hated dressing up when he was big. And same thing with humor. Like I had a very definite wardrobe. It was black jogging pants. It's black and black, always black. Super whatever's comfortable. Oftentimes dry fit because I was always sweating, right? And so it was like whatever I can keep the coolest in, that's what I would wear. And even for work, it was just like anything that wasn't restrictive. So stretchy golf shirts and all that stuff. But then I would oftentimes wear a blazer because if I was sweating, I didn't want people to see my sweat. But then you wear a blazer and then you sweat more. So it was like you lose regardless. So not a fun time.
My go-tos, the ladies will probably relate with this. It was always like black leggings that could be passable for work attire, and then like a long enough shirt to cover my booty. You guys will or the girls will probably know what I mean. And like lots of long cardigans. That was my go-to. And again, nothing wrong with any of those things. I still love a good legging, love a good cardigan, but it was definitely, I wore stuff not because I liked it. It was just to hide stuff, right? Or, so it feels nice to wear things that I enjoy now.
Yeah. What the berry? Hey, how are you? I'm trying to scroll. There's more to scroll. Look, see, D's at the gym right now. Yes, I borrowed Mr. Jason KO's. I borrowed his belt after surgery because I think it was a wedding or something. I'm like, dude, I don't have a belt in this color that fits. I'm like, can I get you? And Jay's always been way smaller than me, so he was just like, what the hell? We're wearing the same clothes now.
It's kind of when you guys were younger, were you guys bigger too? Like, were you bigger than all of your friends when you were younger? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in elementary school, my nickname was Chunky because I gave it to myself because I guess someone called this girl fat, and I was just like, no, look at me, I'm Chunky, and it ended up being my nickname. So like I jumped on the grenade for her, but yeah, I was always a bigger guy.
Because that's been weird. Like, if I'm over at a friend's house, that was always a thought of like, oh, I won't be able to borrow one of their sweatshirts if I need it because it won't fit me or things like that. And now not having that of like, whoa, I can fit into a lot of the things that my friends have now. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah. Jenna, how are you? Good evening. I haven't been up to catch you guys in a while. Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Justin's nickname was Cheeseburger when he was younger. Why is that?
I was always just big guy, like everybody was just like, hey, what's up? Big Murph, big guy. And now I wear my 13-year-old's clothes.
Yeah.
So it's, and I've shared before, like, I feel like I've shared it a few times. I had somebody at work call me petite and said that I was petite, and it's just, it's weird. It's different, but I still I've got a shirt, a 5XLB.
Is it your Superman one?
My Superman one, and I keep it in the bottom of my drawer, and I pull it out every 5-6 months and swim in it, and it's cool. Clothes shopping is fun though. And
does anyone else sleep in their big clothes like I do?
I have a few.
Yeah, my wife's like, why are you wearing that? I don't know. It's very comforting.
Like a nightgown now.
Yeah,
because of my loose skin, like I have to sleep in like something confining. It has to be tight, or else like it hurts. It's painful. I don't like. I wish I could. I wish I could sleep in my big stuff, or at least my big shirt. But yeah.
Well, guys, should we get on to our main show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where are we going?
So we will be on, we will say goodbye to TikTok, but if you guys want to keep watching our main show, we're going to be talking about how we approach special occasions after bariatric surgery. And I feel like a lot of what we've talked about actually will kind of lead nicely into that. So join us on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook. The link is in our bio. So we will see you over there.
All righty. See you there. Cue the sexy time music.
And
the about me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell you good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
Hey guys, this is Rob, and I got them thighs.
Hey, this is Murph. Feel them feelings.
What's up, guys? It's Shea. I'm the girl, and welcome to the Waiting Table Podcast.
I like that. I like the real men feelings. I like that. That's nice.
Feel them feelings.
It was smooth.
Feel them feelings.
Get in them feelings. Get in them feelings. It's all right.
100%. 100%.
No judgment here.
No judgment. How's everyone today?
Good.
Yeah?
We're in February.
Oh God.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
I just keep saying it just to remind Rob because I know he keeps getting confused where we're at.
Yeah.
So just
It's
say
an
it
old guy
nonchalantly.
thing, right? Who knows? Who knows? Thank you, everyone, for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we have roundtable discussions about the hottest topics in weight loss with, of course, the coolest people from the bariatric community. I'm Rob. We got Murph. We got Shea. And, of course, we got you guys. So grab a chair, wind down from your very busy day, and take a seat at the table. Murph, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going real good. It is February, a week into February already, and yeah, doing good, staying busy. Yeah. Quick little story. At around 7 o'clock, I got my pajamas on. I was like ready to climb into bed, and then I realized, oh my God, we've got a podcast tonight. And then, but like we've been talking about it all day too. Like we've been talking back and forth, and it's like I don't know how
I was a little nervous as like the time was getting closer. I sent stuff and I like didn't hear back from either of you. I'm like, okay, hopefully they'll be there.
Yeah, it was. It's just brain fog going on. I don't know.
We're getting older, Murph.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's a thing. Shea, young buck, how you been? How you been, fella?
I'm doing good. I'm excited that it's a leap year. Did you guys know that we have an extra day in February this year? I always feel like
know that.
yeah, I always feel like we get gypped in February, so it's nice we get the extra day today or this month.
Yeah, this month.
Yeah, this month. So yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to see you guys. And yeah, Rob, how are you?
Tired. I'm busy and I have crazy brain fog right now. Like I was saying in happy hour, it's Wednesday. Shoot. So yeah, it's just been super busy. Work's been busy. Training's been busy. Kids' activities have been absolutely crazy. I feel like everything is at its absolute peak right now, which I feel like I said that 2-3 months ago. So I don't know. Everything just is
But
pretty
it
crazy.
is a new year, so maybe you're getting your peak done early this year.
Yeah, like I think March will be a lot easier for a lot of different aspects for things. So I think it'll get a lot easier. But yeah, I'm still here and I am kicking and I'm excited for tonight. Tonight will be a good one.
So those that are joining us live, let's see what we can do since we know Murph and Rob are both kind of foggy headed. Let's just mess with them as much as we can. Okay. So putting out that challenge out there.
It's not gonna be a difficult challenge whatsoever.
No, that'll be a pretty easy one.
Well, speaking of
challenges, yeah,
I'm so excited.
I've got a little game for us. Now we've done something like this in the past, but I feel like it's been a while since I don't remember exactly when we did it or how long ago we did it. But just like a question and answer kind of time, just like a trivia. But this is bariatric theme. This is bariatric trivia.
Ooh.
And I feel like this is important, for some of our maybe newer viewers or people that haven't had a chance to go back and look at the other shows. Just some myths. What is it called? It was myths and hold on. What did I call it? Myths and misconceptions.
Ooh.
So just kind of like a true or false. I'll give you an A, B, or C option.
I'll be myth if you want to be misconceptions, Rob.
Ooh, that was my nickname growing up. Hey, you, misconception. I don't know where that came from.
Misconception?
That's my name, guys.
Your drag name, Miss.
That's my drag name. Hey, I'm Misconception.
That's a good one.
It is good. I like that. That's gonna be change it from Dem Thighs to Misconception for next week.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah, I like it.
So number one.
Yes.
And we'll start off with an easy one, and this is just a true or false. Very easy. And go ahead and leave a comment real quick. You can say T or F if you want to get it in there quicker. First one to respond wins.
Oh. And do we are me and Rob, are we just shouting, or are we maybe giving people a little bit to get their comments in?
Yeah. Let's give people some time.
Give people. Let's do like 10 seconds.
Okay, sounds good.
Hold on.
This one's very easy. You got a little. All right.
Yeah.
All weight loss surgeries are the same. It's a pretty easy one.
Ooh, that's good.
I feel like that's a pretty easy one. All weight loss surgeries are the same. And the answer is
false.
False.
Lots of F's. F. False.
Good job, guys.
No, it's false.
Boom.
They're all over there. Good. Yes. Yeah. There are, to my knowledge, there are 3. Are there 4 now? Is the Sadie is the because we got the I can never say
duodenal switch. Duodenal. I've heard it both ways. I don't know which one's right.
Yeah. And
you got the sleeve. You got the
R&Y.
The R&Y, and then now you've got the Sadie, right?
Is the Sadie different than the duodenal switch? Is that different?
And that's kind of why, yeah. See?
Well, good thing we're gonna have a bariatric surgeon on in a couple of weeks. We can ask.
Ooh, boom! Misconception. I don't know what that has anything to do. I'm just really stuck on misconception now. Every time I'm just gonna say that.
I keep hearing. Is it Kelly Clarkson that sings is it Miss Independent?
Yes.
Miss Independent. Now I'm thinking of that, but misconception.
Oh yes, mini bypass as well. Barry Godmother Christine mentioned that.
There we go.
I feel like there's a lot more than what we talk about. I'm not as educated. Yeah.
Yep.
Matt's Forte, hello. Sure. Keep this question for when we have a bariatric surgeon on.
Yeah. All right. The next question is, hold on one second. I'm sorry.
Murph is good at keeping the suspense. I'm like zoned in. I'm ready.
I'm gonna read the question, and it's gonna be kind of like a fill in the blank, and you guys tell me what you think. For most people, the risks of obesity are much greater than the risks of bariatric surgery. Study reports show that 90, 95, or 85% reduction in premature death from all causes after surgical weight loss as a result, as well as dramatic drops in deadly diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. So what percentage is it? 90, 95, or 85? That, oh shoot, I wrote the question all like backwards.
Ooh, answers are coming in.
The risk of so for most people, the risk of obesity are much greater than the risk of bariatric surgery. Study reports show that nearly 90%, 85%, or 95% reduction in premature deaths from diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say
by this number.
I'm gonna say 95%.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 90 because a lot of people are saying 85. They're all good numbers.
I know, like
Well,
even at the
all
lowest
great
end,
numbers.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
So it is actually 90%.
Nice. Misconceptions. Got it.
Misconceptions. Go,
That's
girl.
Wow.
So
So you're
diabetes,
saying
90% of diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease are pretty much cured from having bariatric surgery.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
And like we see that so often, right? Like even just going on, within our bariatric community and watching stories or posts, like you see, like I know that was a big part of the stuff that I would say, right? And so there's so many people who don't have to worry about diabetes, have to worry about hypertension. So amazing. I love seeing it. And 90% now that we've gone through it, it doesn't seem far off, right? Like it seems very attainable.
Yeah.
I just wish, I think it's becoming talked about more because us in the community are talking about it more. But it's like,
Yes.
if you were like, can you imagine being in a doctor's office and them saying that number to you? Like, if you have this surgery, you'll have a 90% chance of curing all of these comorbidities. That's never something that I heard.
Mhm.
That's so wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So I've got another number for you too. I was going to spread these out, but this one's just right here. Having bariatric surgery is deadly, right? This is what some people say. It's lethal. It's deadly. The mortality rate is really high. So the mortality rate is actually either A, 2%, B, 0.1%, or C, 1.2%.
So question on this, and I don't know if you'll know the answer, but is this talking about mortality like during the actual surgery, or is it also including from complications after surgery?
During the surgery?
Okay.
During the surgery.
0.1.
And this was a big fear for me. This was a
Yeah.
huge fear for me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say 0.1 also.
I was waiting for the ticking.
Oh.
That's not coming. Whoa.
Whoa.
I got a 0.1 here. I got a 1.2. I got a 0.1, 0.1, 0.1. The answer is 0.1.
That is so wild.
1%.
Wow.
0.1%. So this surgery is like freakishly safe, right? Like, I mean,
And
it's
in all fairness, this isn't including complications that can happen after, because that is a valid concern too. But the fact that it's 0.1% for the surgery itself, that's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty, and I think it's a logical fear. I think all of us have had that fear when we're going under, right? Like even for skin removal surgery, I was telling my wife that every single time, like, so for both surgeries, like I had to come to terms with the fact that there's a risk that I don't wake up.
Mm-hmm.
But 0.1 is not very big, right? So like, as much as it's a logical concern, is it really a logical concern? Like mathematically,
You have a higher chance of getting in a fatal car accident than dying on the table.
Exactly, right? So
Not saying it can't happen, but it's good to know.
Savannah is 3 for 3.
She's doing good.
Good
Mhm.
job.
Question.
Very godmother and
B9S6G23. Murph, was this your first ever major surgery?
Aside from having my tonsils removed when I was 9, yeah, this is.
Oh,
So I was definitely. I mean, I don't like the idea of going under the knife. One of the reasons I don't want to, I'm so nervous to get skin removal is because I'm not. It freaks me out. It freaks me out. And then, and I was already, I mean, I was 344 pounds when I went in for surgery. I'd already lost 120 pounds, but I was just scared. I was scared that like, this isn't going to work. This is going to, they're going to mess up the anesthesia or something, not enough. I needed, horse tranquilizers or something. Like I needed more or not that much or, and to trust a doctor that I'd only met like twice, and it's just like, hey, I'm going to knock you out and cut you open. It's just a freaky feeling.
Did you guys have the fear that it was going to be like that? What was that movie? Was it called
Awake?
Yes, where it's like you can like hear or like know and feel everything that's going on, but they don't know you're conscious, or maybe they do. I can't remember the movie, but I had that fear of like, oh no, I'm gonna know that everything, or I'm gonna be able to feel everything, but they're not gonna know. But no, I was out.
I think I had more of a fear of like Face Off. I don't know if you guys ever saw
Oh,
that.
where you're gonna wake up and be Nick
gonna wake
Cage
up
or
and, like,
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Which
movie.
is a freaky concept.
It is a very good movie.
I love that movie. Let's see. It was taking a little longer than I thought, so I'm just gonna keep.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the.
The
I'm gonna go. I got two more questions. This is myth number 6 on the list. Bariatric surgery is for people who have hundreds of pounds to lose. True or false?
Sorry.
Bariatric surgery is for people that have hundreds of pounds to lose. True or false?
We got a false. We got a false. We got a false. We got a LOL.
I feel like this is a very huge what's your name, Rob?
Misconception.
False.
This is false.
Yes.
This is false. You don't have to wait until TLC calls you and says, "Hey, we want you to be on, this show." That like that's what I always thought too.
That's what I did too. I thought that too.
I was pushing 500 pounds. I'm not big enough.
I'm not quite there.
I'm not there.
Quite big enough to be on TLC yet.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And that's just so false. Obesity is a disease. That is not one of my questions. I'm just gonna say it.
True.
Right?
True.
True. Obesity is a disease, and this is a tool that can be used to help those who need help. And if you have, according to this study, and this is a lot of my stuff is coming from Cedar Sinai, but it's saying if you have a BMI of 35, you're taking medications for diabetes, high blood pressure, the comorbidities, the basics, and they still look at the BMI scale, unfortunately. You don't have to be, being pushed around in a wheelchair. I wish I had done this 10 years ago.
Sure.
I wish it's worth looking into at least and talking to a doctor, and because it could save your life.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just to give perspective to you, I was 283 pounds when I got the surgery. I've known people who have been 250 pounds. Like, I know we tend to hear kind of maybe weights that are higher than that, but just, talk with your doctor if you think that could be a good option, and don't feel like, oh, I don't think I'll qualify. Just check. You might as well just find out.
And I think especially because, sorry, go ahead, Murph.
No, it's not for everybody, but it might be for you. You don't know until you ask, and it could be very helpful.
Yeah. And I think, obviously when we look at losing weight, we say this all the time. It's not just about the number, but it is about those comorbidities, right? And so oftentimes when you're looking at who bariatric surgery might be for, comorbidities are obviously something that's taken into consideration, because we know firsthand, as well as, through numerous studies, that when you lower your weight, your risks of having these comorbidities or their effects on you is drastically lowered, right? And so realistically, yes, we can go on medication to deal with our blood pressure. We can use medication to deal with our diabetes. Losing the weight has been shown to dramatically decrease the risks and the effects of those, right? And so, I think when you're looking at the big picture of what bariatric surgery is and what the benefits are, you can't forget about the other health benefits that are not just tied to that specific number, which is, it is, like, without lying, obviously that's a big part of why we did it, right? But, there are other benefits, so for sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then our final question. This is one of my favorites.
Doo-doo-doo.
And this is this will be written in essay form
Yes.
for extra credit. No,
All
I like
right.
format.
who knows what percentage of the bariatric community is made up of men?
Mm.
I want to see percentages. I want to see actual percentages. What percentage of the bariatric surgery is made up of men? And if you don't know it, you're going to know.
We got a
You can learn
40%.
I'm
So
gonna
that
throw
is
my
like
guess
38.
in. My guess is 38%.
I'm not going to give my guess.
Do you know, Rob? Do you know the answer? Yeah? Misconception
O's.
knows.
4, 17.5, 30, 40, 55.
The actual retail price? No, I'm just kidding. I would love
$1. $1.
It's 20%.
20%? Really?
20% of the bariatric community is me and Rob.
Yeah.
Not
Man,
Shea.
we gotta get that higher.
Yeah,
Mhm. Ooh,
Yeah, I
Sharky
think so.
Chick.
I think so.
19.3.
Ooh,
Very, very close.
very close.
Price is Right rules.
That's-
She got it on that one, I think.
Very good. Very good.
Well, thanks for coming to my game. Hope you guys
That was
had
fun. I love your games, Murph. You
Drop
do
a
great.
little-
You have great
Little
games.
berry knowledge on you.
Yeah.
And
I like it.
I think it's important to break some of these stereotypes and these misconceptions and myths,
Yeah.
and let's make a difference for the for this life-changing opportunity that we've all been given. The three of us, but some people who are watching as well.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Do it.
Awesome.
Well, misconceptions. Murph, are you ready to get into our topic of today?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Before we do question, and this is a good one. Do you know, Murph, with the stats that you pulled, is that US or international for the men?
I think that was US based.
I think it is US based.
We just
I don't count on that number.
Christine that asked.
But I will say that in Canada, it's not very different from that number either.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to talk to my people about it and get back to you.
All right, cool. Well, for the remainder of our show tonight, I thought it would be fun to talk about what we do for special occasions, because we started talking about it a few weeks ago, but it ended up, I didn't think that we would take as much time as we did talking about what we ate in a day, but it did. So we didn't really get to this topic.
Yeah.
But I just have been thinking about like birthdays. We have Valentine's Day next week. All the people out there who have loved
Super
ones.
Bowl.
Oh yeah, Super Bowl coming up. Oh, that's a good point. Anyway, all of these things that we have coming up in the year, I was just thinking about what certain special occasions used to look like for me before surgery and what they look like now, some of the things that are the same, different. So how do you guys want to spin this? Should we talk about like Valentine's Day, Super Bowl, because those are coming up first? Or do you guys have anything that you've been thinking about as it pertains to this?
I think in the same kind of flow that we did our what we eat in a day, starting at breakfast, going through to dinner. I think looking at a Valentine's day or the Super Bowl, let's imagine maybe we're walking into a party or a restaurant or an event where there's a buffet, a
Oh, that's good.
a ton of food, lots of options. Especially if you're going to a Super Bowl party, there's going to be copious amounts of
Mhm.
good, not good for you food,
No.
but just delicious stuff. How do you manage that? How do you? And so what types of food are we looking at? For these types of events, I guess. And then how do we go about navigating that buffet bar?
Okay, I was gonna say, I know for me, before surgery, I feel like I had very much this like scarcity mindset of I need to eat everything or else it's gonna run out or I'm not gonna get enough or like I have to get my money's worth if it's not like a Super Bowl party, but like a buffet, kind of that buffet
Yeah.
mentality of like I need to eat everything that's there, even if I'm full, like it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna push through it. And so I'm thinking more when you said the buffet thing of like going in and trying to get my money's worth. Whereas now I feel like it's not worth any amount of money for me to feel like garbage. So I just don't really have that mindset now where if I go and even if it's an expensive buffet I'm paying for, I'm going to eat until I'm not hungry anymore and I'll stop when I'm full. And I would rather spend money and maybe not get my money's worth in that way, but I'd rather feel good instead of like garbage. So kind of a different mindset. But when you said buffet, that just was the first thing I thought of.
Yeah, I think it has to all come down to sort of where you are in your specific journey, and yeah, like what can you tolerate, what can you handle, and yeah, your mindset towards it, right? Because so it's Chinese New Year this weekend, right? So we're going to
You're
a
the
Chinese,
dragon.
yes, and we go to Chinese restaurants. Um, in the past, my goal whenever we would go anywhere for any occasion, for any restaurant, would be to continue eating what I would regularly eat previously, but just in very controlled portions, right? So, like, I would have one or two of everything. But again, like, I think it just depends on where you are, right? I couldn't do that early on. I remember my very first Thanksgiving, for example. I was like, no, I need to get the turkey. I need to get this. I'm like, handle that, right? I mean, everything sort of changes. My stomach couldn't handle turkey, for example, that early on, right? Because I had my surgery in September. And so, yeah, there was a big challenge in regards to that. And I like what you said in regards to, no food is worth feeling this. And I think we get that reminder often. I know I do. Like, 'cause I'm never going to say that I've been absolutely perfect with my diet. There are going to be times where, like this past weekend, we were away at a wine tasting with friends. Did I drink wine? Yes. Did I drink too much wine? Yes. Did I eat food that was related to me drinking too much wine? 100%. Right. But again, it's where you're at. And I think it is understanding beforehand. I think it's the preparation of what are you comfortable with, right? Because again, like we've said this a lot, one meal, one day doesn't completely derail you. It's a collection of different decisions that you make. And this was a decision that I consciously made, right? So I think it comes down to that in the way that you sort of look at that for sure. Aaron goes, I can still enjoy the Mandarin buffet just on a smaller scale for $35.99. That's exactly where I'm going to be going this weekend. And I will not get $35.99 worth because, like, my wife's like, oh, what are you eating? I'm like, I'm going to get half a cup of rice. I'm going to get vegetables and I'm going to get grilled steak. That's it.
I
But
feel like you should be allowed to have a container. Like, I don't know if you guys got this, but in my bariatric program, they gave me this little card that says, like, I'm a bariatric patient.
oh
I
gosh,
wonder if
really?
like they would let me do that. I've never tried that at a buffet, but if I showed that, it's like a stainless steel, like a pretty like hefty
Legit.
card.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try that. I'll let you guys know.
They don't let me order off the kids' meals. I've tried many
Dang.
times. Some places do, but not all places. Drive through is fine because they don't know. They don't know the difference. How about you, Murph?
Yeah, thinking back before having bariatric surgery, I remember the pressure of walking into the room and seeing that buffet, and whether it was with a group of friends or like at a
Yeah.
restaurant, and everybody's looking at me like, here he comes to
Yeah.
devour the food. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh God, you better get up there quick. The big guy's coming, you know?
Mm.
And
Do you think that was a reality, or do you think that's
oh
just how
no,
you felt? Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
just how I felt. Yeah,
Got
because
it.
like I've never felt that way about anybody else. You know what I mean? Like if I see somebody that was, you know, larger than me or my size or anything like that, I never thought like, oh, you better get up there because they're gonna, you know, eat, you know. No, I've never. It's just in my head. It's it's me. It's shaming, you know, like I'm
Mhm.
shaming myself before the party's even started. I've already
Sure.
started on a low note, you know what I mean, where everybody's looking at me and it's like this you know, this pressure all of a sudden. And so I would typically stay at the back of the line, or I would sit, like if we were at a like a function, like a church function or a Super Bowl party or something like that, I would make sure everybody else got to eat first. I
Yeah.
didn't want them to, you know, think that I'm out to get their food. I wanted to make sure the kids got to eat. I want to make sure, you know, um, and then I'd go up there and sometimes I'd be left with scraps and it's like, oh, this isn't a bad thing. You know, like
Yeah.
it's okay. Like I didn't get any of the, you know, meatballs, but it's all right. That versus now, I usually go in and typically I'm looking for the proteins. Like that's my go-to. That's my mindset is like protein, protein, protein. Where's the protein? If I'm not seeing a whole lot of proteins, okay, next step, green. Like where's the green stuff? You know, like I want to, you know, see the green stuff. And it's this total switch
Mhm.
in my mind over the past 2-3 years where like I used to think people hated seeing me come in and now I can actually kind of enjoy myself, but I still have to be conscious of what, you know, what I want to put in to make sure that it's worth it, you know, or is the money worth it, or is feeling like garbage worth it, or dumping worth it, you know.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I'm going straight to those meatballs and I'm going to knock over some kids to get to them too, because like I'm not the big guy anymore. I need my protein and they can yeah, they can wait. No. But I try to get that protein in, and that's my go-to. Every time I go to a function, I'm thinking about that protein.
I think too, there's people that are commenting on how they relate. Tim had said, not just you, Murph. I always felt the eyes and whispers when I'd walk into a room or restaurant. And I think I know I used to feel like because I had excess weight, I wasn't worthy of eating. And that's kind of what I was thinking about as you were talking about that, how it's interesting how before it's like, oh, well, I have excess weight. So like I'm going to let everybody else eat before me because I don't really need it.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, like, as humans, we need food, whether you have
Yeah.
excess weight or not. And we're all worthy and deserving of having food and eating. And I think a lot of times, I know I forgot that when I had excess weight, and it just makes me sad that I forgot that.
Yeah.
No.
A David 2088 asks or says, I can relate to that feeling, Murph. How did you deal?
How did I deal?
Hmm. And this is in regards to the feeling of, you know, coming into the room and
That shame.
that shame that
Well,
you
yeah.
feel, and
I'm
possibly it being sort of self-inflicted, right?
yeah, most definitely. And I think that's what I'm still struggling with, is that, you know, being able to forgive myself and being able to not feel guilt or shame or, you know, I I don't know, to deal with that back then. It would I think it would make me more, because I eat my feelings. I'm an
Sure.
emotional eater, always have been, probably always will be. Um, unless I, you know, harness a better relationship with food, and that's kind of the end result goal. But it's never over. You know, we always say we're always in recovery. I love food. I love the way it tastes. I love the textures. I love the, you know, the flavors, and so but like what was this comment? Barry Godmother
Mhm.
had made. You know, it's about being there. It's about being present. It's about the experience and the people that you're with. You know, and you're celebrating life with people. You're not celebrating the food. And so in those moments when I'd hear those whispers, or I'd see the eye contact or the faces or whatever, it drove me to want to eat more. Like, not like it's sad, it's depressing, it's anxiety inducing, and through all those feelings, I just want to shove more food in my mouth and silence out. I don't care. Like, it was like it wasn't that I didn't care what they were thinking. It's like, I don't care about myself. I don't have self-love, self-respect, self-dignity. I don't have the self-awareness to eat healthy. I would just eat that feeling away. And yeah. So it
Like
hurt,
that.
and I didn't deal, I guess. The short answer is I didn't. And I'm learning how to still. So
Yeah. It's like, it's interesting, like that self-fulfilling prophecy and like self-punishment. I know I can relate to that too, of like, well, people already think that I do this, so I might as well just do it. Right. Like,
right.
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys find that there were any specific holidays that were harder than others? Like, I know that there are for me specifically, being Christmas. Christmas time, I think, is hard because emotionally it is so elevated. My mom passed around Christmas time, just earlier than Christmas time, and so I always go back to the first Christmas without my mom, right? And so that's always stressful. And then all the other stresses that we have in regards to Christmas with gifts and running around and doing all of that. And so I do find that Christmas is the one that I probably struggle the most to maintain control. It's the most work for me to maintain control. Like, I've spoken about how tough Christmas was this year because, everything sort of just piled up. And so how about you guys? Are there specific, I guess, occasions that are harder for you? And do you have anything that you guys do to try to balance and manage that?
Yeah, mine is almost like it starts at Thanksgiving, where like Thanksgiving's okay, but it's kind of the start of things
Yeah.
feeling hard for me. And then Christmas is probably the hardest as well. And then also even New Year's, like just that chunk of time is just a
Sure.
hard time for me. And I think it's more just our bodies remember things that our minds don't always remember. And that's something I've realized in the last couple years after having surgery, where it's like I would have all of this anxiety and stress that would come out. Like I said, it would kind of start around Thanksgiving, Christmas would get really heightened, and then after and New Year's, it would kind of be there too. And so for me, the way that I deal is just acknowledging that it's there and like knowing that my body isn't trying to attack me by having these feelings. It's just reliving stuff that consciously I might not be aware of, and just giving myself grace of like, things are just going to feel kind of hard in certain ways. Where can I cling on to joy? What are the new things that I want to do, that I enjoy doing? And let's try to do some of those. But I tend to get really tired in that time. And I know it's just because I'm just processing through a lot. So I think ultimately just having grace on myself and just being open and flexible. For me, I don't like to make a lot of plans around the holidays because I like to keep it open on, if I'm just feeling extra tired or like it's just a hard day, I don't want to feel the pressure of like needing to be somewhere or go somewhere. So that's probably my answer. And then it's kind of nice in a way that it's all in that one chunk of time. And then it's kind of like after I get past New Year's, around this time is when I start to feel a bit better and like, oh, okay, things are feeling better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally ditto all of that. Like it's the most stressful time of year. I mean, there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of, financial stress. There's a lot of relationship stress. There's a lot of, and if you have kids, it's like you're trying to, get the talk to Santa and work out, your arrangements with Santa and how to, and you're baking cookies, and there's lots of fun activities and things to do, but it's like all revolves around food. And so,
yes,
because food makes you happy. I mean, who honest to God, who doesn't love food? Like good home cooked, cookies, mashed potatoes, stuffing, turkey. I mean,
Some people don't. I mean, some people that have, disordered eating,
they're
like that
crazy.
can feel,
No,
well, no, but just the same way that like some people will feel pulled to food. There are, people will sometimes have the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I've never met anybody like that.
Yeah.
But
I
if
have.
I'm sure there are probably some people out there, sure. But the majority, I think, the
Yeah.
majority of, especially Americans, we gravitate to the table around the holidays, around special occasions, and this is where we make our memories. This is where we're eating feelings, whether it's good,
Mhm.
bad, or bad memories or good memories, or the loss of somebody, or somebody that's not with us at the table that used to be. You're in those thoughts, and you're still eating, and food is good. And you try to make the good memories with it. You try to incorporate and associate, the good stuff. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
Mhm.
really, really hard. But remembering why you're there. Well, you're there to spend time, like Barry Godmother and Aaron were talking about in the comments.
Yeah.
You're there to spend time with each other, the family, taking the ambiance, the presence. I've tried to be intentional this past holiday with listening just listening to
Mhm.
the sounds of the kids laughing and having a good time, and trying to pick up, hone in on some of the good key qualities, and try to not make it so much about food, but
Mhm.
smells, even just some smells,
Yeah.
and you know there's something else I was going to say too, but I don't remember. uh I'm so
But
tired. I'm sorry.
I think that's a good thing though,
I'm
right? Like,
hungry now. I just want to eat.
yeah, I know. I'm just like, thanks, Murph.
My mouth is watering.
Food.
Yeah.
But I think that's where the challenge, and I think the goal should be for a lot of us in regards to, um, do we love food? Yes. Or do some of us love food? Yes. Should we stop loving food? I don't think so. Right? Like, I think we should still love the taste of food. I think we should still love eating food. I think we should still love the way we feel when we eat food. I think we should still love gathering with people around food and around the table and all the associated, sort of feelings we have with food. I just think that we need to look at it in a more balanced and healthy
Mhm.
way, right? Because I think that's what the challenge was. I think for me, for sure, it wasn't a balanced way. It's just like, when I look at the overall mass I would eat in a specific meal, right? It's not even that I was eating, like, just say McDonald's. It wasn't even that I was eating McDonald's. It was eating the quantity of
Right.
McDonald's that I was eating. Like, did I need to eat that much all the time? Well, the answer is no, right? Now, should you be eating McDonald's all the time? Anyways, no, but right, I think that's the thing that we need to, that's the challenge and the end goal that we need to have is sort of understand your situation a lot more, so then that can be integrated into your life, right? And so
Mhm.
I think what you had mentioned in terms of being mindful of a lot of different things, listening, that's all part of the experience, which is amazing, and that's what it should be. um, so how do we maintain that while still incorporating food? And so we have
Right.
some posts that, or some comments. Tim had mentioned going to Thanksgiving and a lot of different food being out there and some different desserts that came up, and someone did make sugar-free chocolate pudding, which is amazing. But I think that's a big part of it. I'm just like, you can still enjoy things, but a lot of it will be prep now, right? And he
Mhm.
also mentioned about being honest with other people about your situation. I think that's a big part of it as well, because that doesn't mean that we can't enjoy all these things. It's just we need to compromise in certain areas. And realistically, we should always have been compromising anyways. We just
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
right? Like, I did not need to eat a double quarter pounder with supersized fries and drink and 20 nuggets, right? Like, I didn't
Mhm.
have to do that. Um, and I think that's the challenge, us learning how to compromise with ourselves and our feelings and emotions, right? So,
Well, one practical way to do that too is, like when you're talking about a Super Bowl party or like more of a party setting. For me, I even did this before surgery, but I would always bring something that I knew I would like. And so even after surgery, I remember like I think it was Easter. So I had my surgery in March, and then Easter was like pretty soon after that. And so like I couldn't eat a ton of stuff quite
right.
yet. And so I made protein pudding that I made for like everybody in the family, you know, and that was great because it's like, okay, at least I know I can eat that.
Sure.
For the Super Bowl party, Mel from our Sleeve Life podcast, me and her are doing a cooking series right now. So if you go to the link in my description, there's 5 recipes in it. And one of the recipes would be a great Super Bowl recipe. It's a bean, or what did I call it? A layered bean dip. And that would be a great thing to bring to something like that, where you're going to have protein from the beans. I use, instead of sour cream, I do plain Greek yogurt. So you're getting more protein that way. So going to a Super Bowl party, I would make that. And that's probably like the majority of what I would eat because I think it's really good and I would like it. So I think, I know for me in the past, I used to kind of play into that victim card a bit of like, how inconsiderate that like people didn't think of making stuff for me or whatever. And then it got to a point where I was like, what am I saying? Like, I can make this for myself, and great if other people like it. And usually people do, but if not, that's okay. I'll at least have something for myself and I can take ownership and responsibility for that. I don't have to expect other people to bend and do things differently just because I want to.
Yeah. JGAYMC. I just say it like that. She's my friend, so I know who she is. A doctor as well. Listen to this person. She knows what she's talking about. But yeah, she had mentioned growing and maturing in our relationship with food. And I think that's also just a matter of growing and maturing, period. Right? With our relationship with ourselves. Because like Murph said it a lot of times, and we've said it. And, you know, at the end of the day, this isn't a weight loss journey. It's a journey. It's a journey about yourself and understanding yourself. And I think one of the best things that I received from this whole journey was the ability to stop and look at myself, right? Understand my perspective, why I do things, and try to understand how that can change, to better my life, my family's life, and my relationships with other people. And so I think that it's sort of all encompassing, right? That relates to our relationship with food. It relates to how we do things. You know, it relates to the way we look at our comorbidities when we look at the value of bariatric surgery, right? It all comes down to the way that we understand ourselves. And so, yeah, I think that definitely is a big part. And being able to do things like, hey, I'm going to prep food because, you know, as Tim mentioned, you know, I'm very open with the people about my surgery and my situation. So I'm going to do the extra work to make sure I have options. Now, whether you always stick with those options, that's a different story, right? And, you know, I don't always stick with, I'll always bring options. Whether I stick with it or not, that's a decision that I make, but it's a conscious decision that I am making. So it's never in the hands of anyone else, right? We're taking accountability for it.
Exactly. And I think it's important too. One of the conscious decisions that we could make is that instead of, and I don't mean to change the direction that we're going, but if you think about like Thanksgiving, it's one day. It's one day of maybe eating a little too much turkey, maybe eating a little too much stuffing, or you know, having an extra roll or something like that, and some pie, and having all the good foods. But it's just one day. Don't throw off your whole lifestyle change that you've worked so hard for just for that one day. You might, if you're weighing in every single day, you might see a little influx in the scale, but it's like, don't like, oh my God, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, don't just throw in the
I'm just taking the whole week off now because,
right,
you know,
might as well. Well, we got leftovers too.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's like, get back on. I think, you know, Jason Smith, you know, he always has that analogy about the wagon, you know, if the wagon wheel falls off, you fall off the wagon or whatever it is. I can't quote Jason. The way he
I like to see you try.
The wagon falls on you.
No, I can't do it. I'm not even gonna try. But something along the lines of, don't just quit the journey.
Yeah.
Get back up and just fix the wheel, or get back on the wagon, or, you know, and just keep going. It's just one day, and it doesn't have to turn into a month of self-loathing, or a month of like, oh, I really screwed up, or, you know, and then before you know it, it's like you've gained 10, 15 pounds, and then you're wallowing in self-pity, and you're doing all the old habits. Those old habits have to die. You got to do something different. You got to do something new, and that new and different is what's getting you to this better place in your life. And then, having growing GAYMC said, and I don't know if you read this already because I was in the bathroom, but yeah, growing and maturing in our relationship with food. And that's really ultimately what it boils down to is loving the food. I made a little video about it. Don't divorce the food. Go to counseling with the food. Have like a marriage counseling session with the food. Don't talk to it because that's weird and people are going to think you're a weirdo. But have a good relationship with the food. You don't have to eat it all. You don't have to finish your plate. Just be mindful of what you're doing, what you're eating. And if you screw up, it's okay. There's a second meal of the day and maybe even a third meal of the day, depending on where you are in your day. And then there's always tomorrow too, and you can make better choices and just keep going. You don't.
And then there's a wagon and jump on.
There's a
wagon
off,
like that, yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a wagon and do it.
Misconception will be there, and
well, and speaking of misconception, though, I do think it's interesting to think about how certain misconceptions lead to our actions. And it's like, I know what I was taught growing up and just like media culture, my doctor's offices is like, oh, the sole reason that I have excess weight is because I eat too much and I don't exercise. And so it's interesting. It's like that can be one component of it. But again, reminding myself but obesity is a disease. There were a lot of other things in play with my situation. And it wasn't just that I was eating a bunch of food and not exercising. It was more complex than that in my situation. And so it's just interesting to think about a lot of those mindsets of those kind of all or nothing ways of thinking, or oh no, I've kind of screwed everything up anyway by eating all this and I'm not losing weight anyway. It's just interesting to see how my mindset got to that place where that's what I think one of the biggest mindset shifts for me is no, when my body is functioning properly, I had surgery to help with the disease of obesity and that's in remission. One day isn't going to throw off my entire journey. But again, no wonder we think that way, because so much of what we were taught was oh, you just eat too much and you don't exercise. And it's no, it's a bit more complex than that.
Yeah. Again, it's that all or nothing mentality that we used to have, right? I think that's why moderation is so important to me in regards to a lot of different aspects, because that's what got me into a lot of trouble. I was always all or nothing type of guy, whether it's for working out or diet or whatever. But that's with the mentality that, okay, well, I slipped up, done, because it's nothing. And then I'll get back on next week. It'll restart and it'll be amazing. And then I'm on. It's all right. And we can't do that, because oftentimes what is not sort of natural for you is going to win out. And I think that's what definitely got me to the position I was in. So,
yeah.
And in the wise words of Savannah, Murph's little sister, talk to the food, be one with the food, be a food, aka a snack. I think that's good. Be a snack.
Be a snack, guys. Be a snack. All right. So we have 3 more minutes left. What, with Super Bowl weekend coming up, with Valentine's Day coming up next week, for Shea, Murph, what is a piece of advice that you would leave with everyone as they're sort of coming up to this, possibly whether it's stressful or emotionally charged, or just this challenging time in regards to the year for diet?
I think my biggest thing is that your needs matter. And a lot of times we think that we don't have needs or that they don't matter. And so I would say just give yourself grace, whether the need is hey, I don't want to go do anything and I just want to be at home and chill, whether it's I want to go to a party and I want to eat some food that I normally don't eat. I would say just be in tune with what your needs are and do that.
Yeah. And just a side thought to that, just to tag on, portions. You go back to the simpleness of eating. Look at portion sizes. That's something that I'll be doing. If I'm making a plate of nachos, what is this a portion size of chips? It's 9 chips or something like that. So enjoy the nacho, enjoy the half a slice of pizza. Look at your portion sizes. but enjoy it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day with your Valentine. Enjoy watching the Chiefs lose. Enjoy whatever you're doing.
You-
Now you
I was
got
gonna
him on
make
a
I was gonna
rabbit
make a-
hole, down a
I
rabbit
was
hole.
going to make a Taylor Swift joke, but I'm not going to do it. No, I just enjoy your day.
Yeah.
And then, just make choices that you're going to be proud of tomorrow.
Mhm.
I want to be able to look back because at the end of the day, it's me versus me. I want to be able to look back and say, I'm proud of what I did yesterday. I went to that Super Bowl party and I made good, healthy choices. And now I don't feel like garbage today. And I was able to enjoy myself. I didn't need to eat all of that. I had a bite of this, a bite of that, and I enjoyed myself. So enjoy your time.
Awesome. Love it. So Shea, with us ending the show right now, what can you let us know what we got going on?
Wait, I want to. Wait, you're not getting off this easy.
Oh.
What's
Yeah,
your
you're up next.
advice? Nice try.
Misconception.
You guys
Come on.
took it. Misconception.
Misconception.
Yeah, honestly, it really comes down to just keeping big picture for me, and that all comes down to moderation, what your goal is, right? And so, yeah, I agree with Murph. Like, these occasions are there to celebrate, and if it's something that you want to celebrate, yes, I did try Netta. Hi, Netta. If it is something, or if these occasions are something that you want to celebrate, go celebrate, right? But again, celebration doesn't mean going all out for everything, right? And so enjoy the food, enjoy a drink, enjoy whatever it is you do, but just do it smart, right? Because realistically, again, I don't need that whole McDonald's combo plus this, plus this, plus this. Have what you want, and next day jump off the wagon wheel. And I don't know where we're gonna go with that
Jason to
one.
sing
I know.
the wagon wheel
I
song.
like Murphs, but really, yeah, just enjoy. Honestly, like, because at the end of the day, I've said this many times. The whole goal of this whole bariatric surgery and bariatric journey should be your happiness, right? It shouldn't be the number. It shouldn't be about the clothes you wear. It should be your happiness, and all of those fit into that whole equation, right? And so, if you're going to exactly give yourself permission to play, if you're gonna to enjoy, if you're gonna go and not enjoy all these different things, and you're gonna sit there brooding and looking at all the people eat all the stuff you want to eat, you're not going to be enjoying. So if you know that that's the case for you, control yourself, have a little bit, enjoy your time with your friends and your family. Just be smart.
And if these holidays, or if Valentine's isn't an enjoyable day for you,
Sure.
or the Super Bowl, if this is a hard time for you, don't make it harder on yourself than it needs
Yes.
to be.
Yep.
Practice
Listen to those
self-love.
needs. Mm-hmm.
Practice self-love and take care of yourself. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Set yourself up for success, and be nice to yourself. Nobody else is going to be as hard on you as you are, and I know that to be true. Nobody's as hard on me as I am.
Sometimes Rob's a little harder, but just
I'm hard,
to be annoying. But
and that's why I cry. But
yeah, why real men
I'm a
feelings.
real man. Darn it. I know about wagons and stuff. But yeah, no, practice self-love and just take care of yourself and set yourself up for that success. And it's all about looking back at what you did, know, and saying, like, I did good. Like, that's such a good feeling to be able to look back and say, I took that one bite of that one food and then I threw the rest away. That actually, for me, that one bite of the donut, I've used this analogy. I've done this before. You take a bite of the donut, throw it away. Throwing it away felt better than taking a second bite.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really did. Like, honest to God. And and it's empowering. You're giving yourself that permission, that power, that privilege of loving on yourself. It's really important to do that. So
yep. So with that, next week, speaking of Valentine's Day, we are going to take a break and we're going to each spend time with our Valentines if they're not grossed out by us, if they accept being our Valentine. So we will not be live next week. Enjoy Valentine's Day. Even if you don't have a Valentine, be your own Valentine. Self-love, right, Murph? That's what we were talking about. But the next week, Murph, do you want to share? Because it's going to be your guest on the following week.
I am so excited. So the 21st, we've got Mr. Eric Johnson is going to be live here, like literally right here next to me in Murphy Manor. And he's coming out from Detroit, and he wrote a book called
You told us. Hold
The
on.
Wait. I know I did. I totally
I was like, I
did.
can look if you.
It's called The Wait is Over.
Yes.
He wrote a book called The Wait is Over, WEIGHTING, if you're at the waiting table. The Wait is Over. And he was at one time over 550 pounds. And we've been talking today, and he's sitting at about 190-ish, I think he said. And so really great guy. And he's going to come out and be with us live and be with me even more live. And so I'm really excited to meet him. And I think we're going to have some dinner together and hang out and talk and then jump on here. And so it's going to be a great show. You guys don't want to miss it.
I'm excited.
You're going to give him pad thai?
No, pad thai is our thing, Rob. So
yeah, I was just like, don't go and give other people pad thai. Like, you give all the girls the pad thai.
Only pad thai for misconception.
Misconception. And you know what? This is going to be our second show already where we've had someone else live with us, with one of us at least, because we had Matt a couple weeks back. So that's pretty awesome. I love the fact that we're able to do that.
I think it's my turn. I'm gonna have to find a live person who isn't afraid of my cooties.
Yeah. There's no one cool in Oregon though. So
no one.
No. And what do we have after that, Shea? We might as well just throw everything.
Might as well. So I'm so excited. So February 28th, we have Dr. Eric Smith from 1,000 Pound Sisters. Yes. I believe he's on 1,000 Pound Best Friends too, maybe, or is it just 1,000 Pound Sisters? Okay. Anyway, he is such a nice person. I'm so excited to meet him virtually. It's going to be more getting to know him as a person. So I know sometimes we have lots of questions for bariatric surgeons, so you can still send those over. But I just want to say, like, full disclosure, we might not get to all of them just because it'll be a really fun time of just getting to know him and his why he does what he does. And so it'll be a fun episode. So that'll be the 28th of this month.
Mm-hmm. And don't be surprised. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It may or may not. We may be celebrating some Super Bowl stuff at some point. I don't know if we've talked about this, but that's why I'm just like, I don't know for sure, but we might be. So if we call on you, be ready to share with us how you're celebrating your Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be an exciting month, guys.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
All right. We got to get Murph to bed. He has an early morning.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Amazing show. Thank you. The conversations, all the comments have always been very, very helpful. So thank you guys for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we're serving the weight loss community.
One pound at a time.
All right. See you later, guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day. What'd you get me?
Love is love.
Pad thai, bro.
Oh, in the shape of a heart.
Aww.
So cute.
Noodles and all.
Everything.
Yeah.
All of it.
Misconception. Coming with love.
With love.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah.